just have that thirst for knowledge. You can never know enough. Market research is key. You got to know who your target market is. You got to know, is there a market for what you're thinking about? Is the market there? Because you don't want to put all your energy and effort into something if it's not going to be profitable. So just learning that, like, doing the research, asking around family and friends, hey, I've got this idea. What do you think about it? Just trying to get feedback. That's what I did. I said, guys, what do you think if I were to like come up with, some, afrocentric cards? Is that something that you'd be interested in? And surprisingly enough, because of the pandemic and people not physically being able to see each other, sending a card is like a perfect solution to just convey those emotions and let people know that you're thinking about them.
Today, we have an amazing guest coming to tell their entrepreneurial story, what they are doing to make a positive difference in the current ecosystem and landscape, but most importantly, sharing tips and advice that you as an entrepreneur considering entrepreneurship could benefit from as well. And today we have the privilege and pleasure of having Cherriton Knight here with us today from Ebony Occasions. Cher, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm good. I'm super excited. I think this is definitely a highlight of my day each and every day. A chance to meet awesome entrepreneurs like yourself. And so tell us, Cher, a little bit about Ebony Occasion. Why did you get started?
Sure. First and foremost, I just wanted to say I love the show. It's so awesome. It's so informative. It's engaging, and the energy is amazing. Having said that, so I started Ebony Occasions. We actually registered the business last year, February. So we just marked 1 year.
Awesome.
Yeah, you know what happened, I had this aha moment. It was one of my girlfriends, very close girlfriend of mine, was getting married. It was a destination wedding, and it was in Barbados, and I couldn't make the wedding in person, and I'm just a card person. I love giving cards. I love receiving cards. I hold on to cards. So I really wanted to give them that special card for the occasion. And I went from store to store, like big box stores, card specialty stores, just trying to find that right card for them. I finally came across one card. It was a beautiful card. It was a couple at the altar, very nice, but it was a Caucasian couple. And then I thought to myself, I love the card and I really still wanted to give it. But then I said, how can I present this card to them? The people on the card, they don't reflect them. It doesn't look like them. So I actually ended up saying, no, you know what, I put the card down. And then I ended up just getting a card with a wedding cake on it, like this 5-tier wedding cake. And I don't know, I was just like, you know what, I'm so tired of not being able to find cards that are culturally relevant. So I said, you know what, I had the idea in my mind for a little while. And I said, I'm going to go for it. I'm just going to go for it. And I'm going to start my own company. And I said, you know what, I'm going to call it Ebony Occasions. That way people know there's a hint there that it's, culturally relevant. It's for Black people who identify as Afro or Caribbean heritage. And that's how we got started.
That is so powerful. And oftentimes, entrepreneurial journey gets started out of a need, right? Like you were looking for a card, couldn't find one that was culturally appropriate, and you said, I'm gonna change this story, I'm gonna change this narrative. And that is sometimes you need to come to that wall to then get that wake up, I'm gonna do this and move forward. So congratulations to you and your 1 year as well and counting. We wish you lots of success on your journey. And so tell us a little bit about what Ebony Occasion does. You've mentioned, culturally relevant cards for people that identify as Black. But do you want to tell us or show us some of your cards that you have and why they're so meaningful to you and to the consumers as well?
Absolutely, yes. So I'm going to show you some examples here. So this is a birthday card. It's your day. Let's celebrate. honoring our African culture and heritage there. Same likewise for a girl, a little girl. Happy birthday to her. We have a boy here playing soccer. It's his birthday. So yes, we provide cards for all those special occasions. I mean, Valentine's Day, often, you know, in society, in the media, you don't really see Black love, like, just to put it bluntly, like, you know, you don't see images like this often of a couple sharing love, having a romantic dinner. This is one of our Valentine's Day cards. And also a girlfriend of mine, she told me a story, like she had bought a box of our cards, and unfortunately she had a death. A friend had a death in their family, and she was able to just reach into our card box and get a sympathy card, you know, something that's also culturally relevant too for our community. So she was able to use that card. And then Christmas is really big. A lot of people love this package. It's our love collection of cards, and it's Christmas cards featuring, you know, afrocentric, so, you know, African, Caribbean heritage people on the cards. So whatever the occasion, we have you covered.
Hey, that's amazing. And I will say, as a purchaser of the cards, I did my first unboxing ever with Ebony Occasion. It was beautifully wrapped. I was so excited to just unveil these cards, and it was very relevant. You know, I got it just before Christmas. I was able to share those cards with my friends and family. And so I want to say thank you. And it was my first Christmas really giving out cards Black people or Black Santa Claus, or, you know, just showing a Black family so celebrating the season. So definitely I see the, yes, a Black angel. Yes, yes. Oh, so it's so precious, Cher. Thank you so much for stepping into this space. The Black Santa Claus, yes. Yes, yes. And so Cher, give us a little hint. How can people get in contact with you if they're looking for cards for themselves or their friends or families?
Yes, absolutely. So we're www.ebonyoccasions.com. We're also on Instagram at Ebony Occasions, Facebook also at Ebony Occasions, and Twitter at Ebony Occasions. So our card boxes, they actually come in this format, which is a lovely card. This is for the Christmas cards. And then we have a black and gold version for the all occasion. And it actually also doubles as a storage box for your cards, because I thought about that. And cards are a keepsake to me, so at least you can use the box also for when you're receiving cards from others to keep them in there. Our boxes actually retail for $59.99 for a box of 20, which is actually great considering that they're premium, like really high quality cards. They're $3 each, which you can't go wrong with that price. And then we also do run specials from time to time.
Yeah. Hey, that's really important, and that's awesome. And at the end of the show, again, I'll give you a chance to share a little bit more about how people can get in touch with you as well. But Cher, we're just going to talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey. I know a little bit about your story. You know, you married with 2 kids, working and doing a business. How do you navigate and manage all of these responsibilities as you're building your own business?
Yeah, that's a great question. Handy little cell phone here. Before I had children, a lot of my colleagues at work, because I'm a registered nurse, that's what I do full time, they were always putting every appointment into their cell phone. Everything was in their cell phone calendar. So I actually picked that trait up very quickly. As you said, trying to navigate working full time, the business, kids with the online learning. I'm sure everyone can see the little senior kindergarten lesson planning in the back there. Just having a regimen and just scheduling things in so I don't forget, because that's also really important. You know, you don't want to waste people's time. Time is precious, and you want to make a good impression, first impressions. So I don't want to be late for appointments or Zoom calls. I don't want to miss any important Zoom calls. So I make sure that I put things into my cell phone calendar. That's key. Or if I have to write sticky notes, Post-it notes, put them places so that I remember things. For example, like my daughter's tap class on Thursdays at 6:30. Have to try and always remember that because it's online. Everything is online. So That's one of the strategies. Actually, those are two of the strategies. Post-it notes and my cell phone.
Hey, I love it. And honestly, using the tools that we have afforded to us so that we can navigate and plan our schedules accordingly. I was talking to a group of individuals recently, and the big challenge was time management, right? And so the facilitator asked, how are you using your calendar? And it's really great that you said we all have it, right? Our phones are right beside us all the time. So having our calendar, planning those things out to really help you balance and harmonize your schedule. And yes, going offline, the post-it notes, saving grace.
And put it
Yes.
in right away. Don't say, "Oh no, I'm gonna enter it later." No, no. As soon as you get that appointment, put it right in there so you don't forget.
Yes, awesome. Shay, I know on your entrepreneurial journey as well, you're building momentum around your business, and you are also seeking and tapping into mentorship. I know that you're part of the Black Business Chamber, they have the masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
So how is that how has mentorship supported you on your entrepreneurial journey today?
Yes, so the Black Chamber of Commerce, you're right. They have an amazing Propel Mastermind session. Actually, one of the people who's also in the session, Brent, is from Legacy Apparel, and he's provided this lovely apparel for me. They provide us with the tools, like you said, necessary tools. There's a lovely program called Growth Wheel, and that helps you to really map your business out, set goals, set timelines, and also evaluate your goals. So not only are you setting your goals, but you're actually evaluating, and you're taking all the feedback, and you're evaluating, hey, have I met this goal? What do I need to do to reach this goal? Our mentor, Doug Minter, has been amazing. He's put us in contact with other mentors from the business community, so CEOs of companies who have also come in as guests to get to know us and help us, depending on the area that we're in, to access other individuals who can help us to scale our businesses. Also, Empowered for X, you, Chris-Beth, you guys are amazing. You guys helped set me up with my virtual office, a business address, which is so important because you don't want to be giving out your personal address to people who you don't know who's out there. So just from a safety precaution perspective, it's amazing. The mentorship webinars that you guys do, all of the information that you provide, and the resources, and just the space. When all these lockdowns are over, for people to just go to your lovely co-working space, they can just be quiet, they can get work done. It's just amazing what you've done with the Empowered for X. And I can't forget ACBN, who also have so much resources, who help me also in my journey. There's just so many resources. And I think the key is accessing the resources available. So you got to do your research and find out what's out there. Don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. It's just like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. You need a village for an entrepreneur.
Hey, I believe that 100%. And yeah, I want to say thank you so much. As a virtual member, we definitely love and appreciate and celebrate you as well. And so for anyone that's looking and curious about what the virtual membership is all about, really it's giving you access to a space to meet with your clients if you need to. You can drop off your products, and people can come to our storefront and you can use that as your own, giving you that business address, right? Oftentimes when you're starting out, you sign and register your own home address. But to Cher's point, there is a safety precaution that's needed to be mindful of as you're building your business in that way. So Cher, thank you so much. And I know ACBN, both part of both of our stories, right? This weekend you were at the Business Legacy Symposium. How was that experience for you?
Oh, it was amazing. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. They had the virtual tables. You could move from table to table. You had the ability, because I was also a vendor, that you could present your company to other people just simply by sharing your screen. I actually made sales as a result of attending the event. The information on branding, on copyright and trademarking and So many, such a vast amount of topics that were covered during those 2 days. The keynotes were awesome. You had Isaac Olawafe, and you also had Susan Henry from Alterna Savings. Amazing talks, so much information. I had my notebook, I was taking notes. It was just awesome. It's the third one, the third year that it's been running, that you guys did a phenomenal, not even just awesome, phenomenal job putting that together. And I was just so grateful to be a part of it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And, I think by default, you get roped into the ACBN family. Your husband, Ryan Knight, is definitely the one needing to get a lot of praise for working with the ACBN crew to put that event together. And yes, we went from the BBPA Sheridan Edge and now in a virtual setting to put on this legacy symposium. And it has been a different experience doing such a massive conference online, but you were still able to get the value with the content, with the speakers. You were able to network. And, for me, hearing you said you were able to make sales as a vendor there, praises. Okay. Like, that's all I can say. Mission accomplished. Like, was that worth it? And for myself, with the team here at E4X and supporting ACBN and the work that we do, is really to see people like yourself win. And, someone that's considering plugging into our community, it is about your story, your journey. And we see ourselves as coming alongside you to support you and build momentum. So thank you so much for that share.
And yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't forget Ryan. All jokes aside, I always say to Ryan, I'm like, I want to do this on my own, so I try to do as much, because he's also so busy. He's always got all kinds of things going on. So I'm trying to do this kind of on my own, and just for my own independence, knowing that, yeah, I'm able to start, but he's a big help. Whenever I have questions, he's there. Even if he is busy, he does take the time to help me. And then he's also helping us with our kids, right? So like, two of us, it's a partnership, 50-50, like actually not even 50-50, 100 and 100%. In. And it's a lot, but we get it done at the end of the day. And yeah, I couldn't myself without him there. So that's awesome.
I think you guys are an inspiration for me. One day, I say my man's on the way. I'm praying about it. But seeing how you all have worked together and build your family, and supporting each other on your entrepreneurial journey, an example as a power couple. I see you guys as a power couple doing amazing things in the community. So props to both of you. And as you said, part of it, as a woman starting out in this space, is figuring out your independence and your essence and your power and your presence in this. But knowing that you, as you said, it's 100 and 100 together, you guys are doing this. And I think stepping into that truth is so powerful as well. So thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome. And actually have some exciting news. I actually signed a contract with Black Owned Toronto with Karen Jean and their amazing initiative in Scarborough Town Center. They're launching in that mall the first exclusively Black owned business store. So it's featuring all Black businesses. So we're going to have our cards in that store, and it's going to be running from May 31st till January 31st. It's a trial run. So we're going to see, I'm so excited. I'm so pumped for that.
Hey, that's awesome. And congratulations to you. I think, we will definitely get the information about that and help you promote that for ways in which people can go out and support. So is the mall reopened in full, or could they access the stuff online as well?
So it's actually a combination. So the mall, the plan is that it's going to be reopening. So they're going to start working in March, getting it ready. They're taking over another space and getting everything ready. So by May, we'll be ready to roll it out. And then they said, and they also are going to simultaneously have an online store. So in the event that there are future lockdowns or further restrictions, that customers are still able to, they still will be able to access the products online. So it's a combination, which is amazing.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Great entering to new spaces. As you starting out, my dad tells me Rome was not built in a day. So start laying the foundation around what you're building, and it can only go up from there. And even when you have to take a step back or you experience a setback, your foundation is there, right? And so I think little by little, your cards will be all across Canada, all across the United States and beyond. So I'm wishing you all success and the best on your entrepreneurial journey that way. And any way that we can support you, share, we're here for you.
Thank you. Yes, like my big dream is to scale it to a point where I'm able to provide scholarships. So I want to be able to I want to be the #1 provider of scholarships for youth in our community, because I know the struggle going to university, working part-time. It's like, oh man, that was the most challenging time of my life. So if I can make it easier for students that, they can get scholarships, so they don't have to worry about working while they're in school. They can just focus on the academics. So yeah, that's one of my goals. So hopefully I can achieve that, and I'll be handing out scholarships left, right, and center.
Hey, that's awesome. So I hear the making of a social enterprise, using your cards to bring in money to support scholarships for the youth. That is so powerful. And I I guess when you're thinking about this, the grand vision, how does it look in terms of your business model to be able to do that?
Right. So we're starting to scale by going into some brick and mortar stores, but eventually I want to be in the big box stores. I want people to come to us to be the #1 choice, and then also expand to other ethnicities. So that way I'm starting with my own ethnicity, but I know that there are many other ethnicities that are not represented in the greeting card industry. So that way I can bring in experts from their community, because I wouldn't want to, it would be like, cultural appropriation. I don't want to be taking over other cultures or thinking I know how to represent other cultures in the cards. So that way I could actually bring in members of those communities, like, Indigenous, Asian, South Asian, like all the other, so that we can just have representation across the board. So hopefully we can get to that level. We can have our own printing area where we can get all of our cards printed independently, and I can start to eliminate the supplier that I'm using slowly, so that all the cards, and also to support local artists and Canadian artists, to also bring them in to design the cards. So yeah, that's
powerful. And every entrepreneurial journey starts with a dream. So I love the dream, and what you're aspiring to is really equity and an equitable landscape when it comes to greeting cards or cards in general. And so, because of COVID, a lot of people, I don't know what the trends are in the card industry, but some people are oftentimes sending e-cards. Are you considering building out in that space, and what does that look like for you and your company?
Absolutely. That is totally something that we are in the works with now. Like, we're in talks about that right now, how we can provide that service for our customers. Just trying to scale the actual physical cards. And then when I can generate enough revenue, then I can move on to that next undertaking, because that involves the actual website and all of the tech end of it, like that back end of it. So, but that's something that's definitely on the agenda.
Hey, no, that's awesome. I think, definitely one of the things we might have heard our mentor, Doug Mentor, say is make sure you're building with your COVID lens on, right? And so just being mindful of your business all around. What is the current landscape doing? At the Legacy Symposium this week, I can't remember which speaker said it, but one of the speakers talked about doing that SWOT analysis, doing that environmental scan about understanding what's happening, what are the trends in your business, so you can definitely go out and be impactful wherever you are. I honestly could say I remember when you started, and to see where you are today, you continue to flourish. So congratulations to you and all of the hard work that you're putting into building this business. So I have two more questions for you, but there are other people out there looking to start their entrepreneurial journey or have already started. What is one advice or tip you can share with them as they're going on their way to be inspired, motivated, as they go forward?
Yeah, so one thing I can suggest is just have that thirst for knowledge. You can never know enough. Market research is key. You got to know who your target market is. You got to know, is there a market for what you're thinking about? Is the market there? Because you don't want to put all your energy and effort into something if it's not going to be profitable. So just learning that, like, doing the research, asking around family and friends, hey, I've got this idea. What do you think about it? Just trying to get feedback. That's what I did. I said, guys, what do you think if I were to like come up with, some, afrocentric cards? Is that something that you'd be interested in? And surprisingly enough, because of the pandemic and people not physically being able to see each other, sending a card is like a perfect solution to just convey those emotions and let people know that you're thinking about them. So just like, yeah, just asking around, gaining as much knowledge as you can, being prepared, trying to find out what resources possibly are out there that you can access, because yeah, you just can't do it alone.
Yes. Hey, I love that share. Thank you so much for sharing that. And knowing that you can't do it alone is so important to find that community, right? That could
Yeah.
ultimately support and champion the work that you're doing. And so my word is phonetical, okay? So you probably have heard me talk about this a little, but it's fun and epic combined, right? So when I think about phonetical, um, it's really looking at big or small things that are worth celebrated. So my question to you, Cher, is what is a phonetical way you express self-love? As an entrepreneur on your journey, what is something phonetical that you do to express self-love?
Hmm. I think probably just like doing my nails, doing something for myself, like for my own self, whether it's soaking my feet, like just relaxing, having some me time. You know what? Funny enough, I've started to build Legos. I know it sounds weird, but I find it interestingly calming and stress reducing building things with Lego. My kids' Legos, like we build things together, and it's therapeutic for me. So
Hey, I love
that,
it.
but because we're on a lockdown, I'm not really going out that much to do much. So it's like, yeah, just finding those kinds of activities.
Hey, I love it. I love it. So finding some alone time. And it's interesting you started with the alone time and then kind of moving into, building in solitude or with your kids. And so along our journey, we say, entrepreneurship should not be done alone, but knowing it is important to find that time where you do regenerate and you can do that in alone time, me time, but still finding spaces and avenues to get back into community. And you said building with your kids. I love Lego building. So, hey, I'm with you there. I would put that as one of my fun epical things. And really an opportunity to expand your creativity ultimately. With Legos, you could design anything, right?
Like alligators, we made a Lego car, like we made a train with a caboose and everything. It was amazing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The reason why I ask this question, oftentimes, when we think about entrepreneurship, we think about the hustle, the grind, the grit, all of these things. But I like to give people the encouragement there's some time that's required and needed where you could find some love and express that for yourself. So that's the main reason why I asked that. A time to just breathe and take it in and do something that's not part of the hustle, sometimes to just unplug, right? So a reminder to everyone out there, entrepreneurship is not, I like to say and be honest, it's not an easy journey. It is a very rewarding journey, but along the way, you want to make sure you have the checks and balances so you're not being burnt out. You're spending your time in a holistic way, being mindful of the spiritual, your mental, your physical, your social relationship, or the financials,
Yeah.
and the team. You're talking about expanding, looking at how you could use the talents and strengths of others to build a great vision, to achieve that vision that you're working towards. So, Cher, I just want to say thank you again for being here with us today. Can you tell folks one more time how they can get in touch with you if they're looking for your cards? And if anyone out there knows someone that's looking for a card, please connect with Cher.
Yes. So thank you so much again. And so the website is www.ebonyoccasions.com. I'm on Instagram at Ebony Occasions, on Twitter also at Ebony Occasions, and Facebook at Ebony Occasions. So yes, we are for business.
Awesome. Cher, I want to just say thank you for being here with us today. From my family here at E4X to your family at Ebony Occasion, we're sending you lots of love, and we're looking forward to continuing to support and champion your success every step of the way. And to the viewers out there, we will see you again tomorrow at 11:30. Every day, every weekday, we're bringing guests to you, talking about their entrepreneurial journey, understanding some of the challenges they may have faced to build momentum and really get to where they are and where they're going, right? And so I'm super happy today to have Cherriton Knight here with us. Thank you, Cher.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you for everything, for all of your knowledge and mentorship. Like, I really appreciate it. Like, it's worth so much. And it's just so humbling, like, just to be in the presence of all of you guys who are further along in your journey. So I hope to get there soon.
Hey, listen, it starts one day, one action, keep the ball rolling. And sometimes you have to pause, but you make a decision and keep that ball rolling. And one of the things my mentor said to me, it's never too late to help somebody behind you, right? Or somebody that's just starting. And that's why I asked you, why did you get started, when you got started, and what were those motivating pieces to start? And what you just shared today encouraged me to remind myself, it is about managing and moving forward to that vision. And so for folks, if you're looking out there, get started and inspire somebody else on their journey to start as well. And you may not even know this. You get started and people are looking. And your journey, your steps, your action is going to transform that journey for somebody else. So congratulations to all of the starters, the movers, the shakers out there. Cher, you are all of the above. So congratulations to you as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye.